Welcome to yourcollection.com. This is a general overview of the site, just give you a flavour of what it does, what it's about. I'm logged in at the moment and I can look at my profile page. When somebody else looks at your profile page, they actually see much more than you're about to see now, because this basically is a way of editing the profile page. So I'm going to click on that and I'm taken to the form page where I can edit the details. This is a link to eBay. I've already set that link. It allows eBay to give us a token so that we can import your watch lists and your purchase history. It keeps it private, keeps your information private. We don't get to see it. There's an explanation of how that's done on the import video, so I won't dwell on that. You get your username, you can change your email address if you want to, and various information. You can update your photo. I'm obviously not John Lennon, but I've used that photo as an example. And you can describe about what got you collected, what you really like about your collection. You don't have to fill any of this in. These are just prompts that you may or may not want to use. You can, you must actually set your currency. That's the first thing you must do, and your nationality, currency, before you can start uploading items, so that we can set the price of the value and the cost, I should say, in your currency. Privacy settings, you might not want anybody to have general conversations with you, so you set that to no. You're not really welcoming emails from people to discuss your collection or general items. This part, we offer eBay templates. They're totally free. When you create an item, it allows you to sell your item at eBay and creates a professional looking template. This is standard information, so it goes in the profile, your shipping policy, your returns policy, and your payment policy. If we take a quick look at eBay, here's an example of one that I made up as a test item. This was done from the template. When you create a template, you drop the HTML code into the description section on eBay, and it will then create a page that looks something like this. You'll have to upload one image yourself, but generally all the images that we store at yourcollection.com are imported or referenced immediately from eBay, so it saves you having to create a new page at eBay and look more professional. So what you get is this. Your description at our site is directly linked to eBay. Condition description is linked as well, and your images are directly linked, so you don't have to take more images. Then the person viewing at eBay gets to look at your images. And as we say, that policy, or those three policies, come directly in, and this is how it all appears as a more professional looking template. So back to the site, and what we'd look at now is the dashboard. That's the general overview, is the dashboard. Shows you how many items you've got listed, how many more you can list, what membership level you're at, how many more items you can list, as I said there, and what your next membership levels are. Tells you at the bottom what your membership level provides. This one provides 2 collections, 50 lists, and up to 200 items. You choose which collection you're looking at, and these items are part of this collection. So if I change that to Beatles memorabilia, you then see there's 5 public lists. That's what everybody can see. 1 private list, that's what you can see. How many items are listed? On this one there's 0. How many are for sale? 0, etc, etc. You can link directly from this page to look at your snipes, your watch list, your want list. There's a difference between your actual watch list here and your eBay watch list, because this comes in the import section. So if I click on there, you're taken to the import section, and there's a separate video on imports, so I'm not going to dwell on that. You can go to your collections, click on there, and you can look at this one. It's a test collection, and you're told how much much the items have cost you and what the value is. You get to see this, nobody else gets to see this. When somebody's looking at your items, they don't get to know the cost, they only get to know the value. So you get to see how much you've spent and what the whole collection is worth, and you also get to look at your lists. You create the lists, entirely up to you. There's a demonstration on how to create an item and how to create lists. You can list your top 10, that's a standard list. You get to see what items you've got for sale, what items you've sold, and as you can see there's some test items created here, just random test items, not particularly collectibles, just something that we're doing to test the site. So if we look at this list, this is totally private, only you get to see this list. Let's see what's in there. Just a guitar. And if what we get to see on the left pane is an item from the list, and in the right pane I'll choose a different one so it's easier to see and more to offer. Let's have a look at let's go down a little bit. Let's try this one. Got some strange item in there. What have we got? We've got 3 items in there. As I say, it's just random items. They're not collectibles, they're just test items. So what we can do is view them in alphabetical order: ascending order of value, descending order of value, ascending order of cost, descending order of cost, newest items first, oldest items first, and by condition in 2 directions. All the things that you might want to look at in particular order. So we'll look at new to damaged, so that's the newest item. Then what you do is you click on an item and it pulls it into the left pane, and you get to see all the details that you've entered, and we get to see the cost of this list and the value of this list. We get to see photos. We can increase, we can zoom in, we can zoom out. Not a high definition photo on that one. We close the list, and there's other photos that we can look at. We can delete the item, we can edit the item. As explained before, we can generate eBay code. We'll generate the code if we wanted to put that for sale on eBay. There's the code, copy to clipboard, it's copied it, go to eBay, look at the selling section, look at the description. One of the tabs is HTML. We click on that tab and drop it all straight in, and that's it. It carries the images from here and the condition description and the actual description from this site. You get a private description. That's a description only you can see. So if it was a damaged item, or you want to say who you bought it from, or anything like that, you can do that. You can also have private photos, which might be a receipt. You don't want everybody to see the receipt. Entirely up to you. And you get to edit the item there. So that's where you get to view collections. You get to see membership levels, and you get to see what it costs to increase the membership level and what you get at each particular point. Upgrade button, upgrade button. You get to see your want list. There we go, the want list. So if anybody has a particular item to sell, they can look at your want list, and that includes anybody on the internet. That's not just anybody looking at this site. I mean, that's the beauty of this. If somebody had this particular item, John Sinclair Toby Jug, and they were at Google one day, they had one for sale, and they want to see if anybody wants to buy one, they can type in John Sinclair wanted, and it will be there. Your page will be there. And the same goes for when people are viewing items in your collection. You create keywords that the search engines can access and compile their list, their search list. We get to look at the watch list. This is where you're watching other people's items on this particular site. So you could be looking at that one, for example. We can click on it, and then we can view. This is by Beetlenut, another testing name, and then you can choose to look at the collectors lists. You can do this anywhere from a general search, but you can also do it from your want list, and you get to see that collector's list. So this collector's got his top 10 items, his items for sale. He's called one of his lists original 60s, ceramics, jewellery, and you'll notice that the items can appear in various lists. Again, this is the beauty of the site. You can have glassware, you can have original 60s items, items for sale, things that are in original boxes, edible, etc. And it's up to you. You make the lists up and you get to see the value and the cost of those lists, as well as your whole collection. You get to send messages, receive messages. So there's some test messages that have been created. We can create a message, and you type the user ID in there, the subject, etc., message body, send the message. When you receive that message at your email account, come back to here to reply, because these are no reply messages through your normal internet site. So messages, more links. If you're only a bronze member, you'll only get image resizer and how to use the site. If you go to how to use the site, you've obviously been there because you're looking at this video. You get to see other videos which we're going to update actually, so you maybe won't see it in this order when you actually view it. But if you're a paid member, premier member, you can get eBay Snipe, which allows you to enter eBay item numbers, your max bid, and then you add the item, which we've done previously down here. And I've won that one, cannot purchase that one for some reason, snipe was too low, and what will happen is the site will bid for you at a few seconds before the end of the auction. You choose how many seconds, and there's a specific video on Snipe. As I say, we can import view eBay lists, which we've looked at. We can set reminders, and there's a particular video on that. And that is a very quick general overview of the site. Thank you very much for looking.